Okay, welcome. Today we'll be talking about Plinth Beam. Now, but before I continue, you can see this is a Plinth Beam. This, as you can see it, and this is a concrete oversight. Now, most often we ask, what is the function of this Plinth Beam? Now, Plinth Beam is just a beam, some people call it tie beam, that is provided at the plinth level. And plinth level, as you know, is a demarcation between the superstructure and the superstructure and the substructure. Now, let us talk about the uses of this plinth beam. Now, one of the uses, plinth beam is provided to prevent the extension or propagation of cracks, from the substructure or the foundation into the walls at the superstructure. Now, this is when majorly when the foundation suffers settlement. Also, the plinth beam distributes load from the wall over the foundation evenly. It distributes the load, the wall load evenly to the foundation. And then, assuming we are talking about frame structure, the plinth beam ties all the columns, just like in this case. You find out that these columns are the perimeters round are be tied together. Maybe that is the confusion why people call it tie beam. Okay, and then it also prevents dampness. Dampness that is from foundation. The dampness from foundation from entering the building, it prevents it. Now, just as I said, I would like to make some clarification between this plinth beam and then what we call tie beam. Now, and I will just make it by stating the uses of tie beam. As I said initially, tie beam is provided at the superstructure. Now, it is just used basically, the tie beam is used basically to reduce effective length of the column. Now, it prevents buckling of column. Yeah, we know that it chains around the columns, but outside this chainage, you should know that it prevents the buckling of column and it reduces the effective length of the column, and it is provided at the superstructure. So majorly the differences, and then we should also know that this plinth beam is provided at the intermediate between the superstructure and the sub. Now, this plinth beam, as you can see, most often it is provided between 300 mm to 450 mm from ground level, depending on where you are measuring from. But the most important thing here is that it is the minimum height from the top of the road, from the road level, should be 150. Now, we don't have any road close to this place, but if we have a road, unless maybe we have a drainage, a provision for drainage system. But if not, the minimum level that this plinth beam is to be from the road level, you understand, the height is supposed to be 150 above the road level. Now, we already know the importance of plinth beam. Well, it is majorly provided to prevent propagation of cracks or extension of cracks from the foundation into the superstructure or into the block work. Also, we need to understand that plinth beam is necessary for most types of foundation except raft foundation. In other words, we don't need plinth beam in raft foundation. So before I end, I would also like to state that we should know that plinth beam is just designed as a beam, even though there are other things to consider in the design, but it's majorly designed as a beam. So thank you for listening this evening to me. This Bonavi Consolidates. Thanks.